Over these past couple of weeks, I have made several videos where I have followed nothing. I have followed a monolith with nothing. I have followed land with nothing. I have even followed an ocean with nothing. But finally, it took me this long, but since stuff kept happening in all of those videos, we are finally following nothing with nothing for the next 1,000 years. Yes, you heard me right. This is the deepest ocean type in the game right here, but it is completely drained, meaning that there's nothing there. There will be nothing there. And to make things even worse, the entire thing is surrounded with the highest level of mountains right here, making it completely impermeable to water, and nothing will get in. I know I've said in every single one of these videos, I do not expect anything to happen, but this is the one where I actually expect nothing to happen at all. But since you guys just absolutely love looking at empty blank canvases so much, we're doing it for a fourth and probably final time, because honestly, I've followed a lot of nothing, but I don't know how much more nothing I can follow. So with that said, we are going to click unpause, but we have 999 more years to go, and yeah, not a lot going on here. The mountains are beginning to freeze over simply because of how high they are, but that's about it. Oh, I do see a couple clouds. That's great, right? Yeah, awesome. But just because I expect nothing to happen doesn't mean nothing can't happen, because if we go into world laws, just like in my previous videos, I've turned everything on. I just everything except for the kitchen sink. Yeah, the kitchen sink's right there. See, I didn't turn that on. But for any of those world laws to actually do anything, we either need land or water, and we don't have either of those. But luckily, just like in my last one, I've also modified the game so that earthquakes can happen more frequently and at any age. And not to mention, I made our world calendar basically a whole mess of different stuff that goes at 5 times its normal speed. So even if nothing does end up happening, by God, we're gonna try. But yeah, once again, not much more to talk about here. So how about we just sim over to year 250, 1/4 of the way there. And well, I don't expect much to change, so I'll see you guys then. By the way, for all of you guys commenting, yes, I do use 40 times speed when I make these time lapses, don't worry. And here we are at year 250, right in the middle of the Age of Ice. We're gonna swap it back to the Age of Hope just so it looks better. And yeah, I think this video may be proof that worldbox is possibly the most versatile game of all time. So you're telling me I can spawn in nothing, not even the ocean. And we're not only getting new oceans, we're getting land too. The main difference between this and my last following nothing video where I followed the empty ocean is I made it the deepest ocean level. Like, look right here, deep ocean. Last time I used the shallow water so the earthquakes would affect it more, and we still have land. And oh my God, this looks terrible. And crabs? Sapient crabs? How? All there was a couple tiles of sand which have now frozen over, and we have 52 total creatures. Well, I guess honestly in this game, if there is land, there's crab. And that is words to live by right there. But yeah, one thing you may notice is because I actually made the ocean level as deep as possible, some earthquakes happen and rose the ground level, but not enough to create land. So I'm not even sure how this one created land, to be completely honest with you. So even though we've made a lot of progress so far, which I'm still just shocked at, like how the hell does this even happen? We have a long way to go and a lot of stuff can happen. I believe the ocean actually filled up because a while ago it was the Age of Tears. But before we move on, let's just look at some interesting people, because God knows there's nothing else to do. And the oldest person is a dude named Crab. That kind of makes up the very first crab in the world ever is just named Crab. That's actually really funny because I have never seen a crab just named Crab before. Who's the happiest? Crab. Who's the fastest? Crab. And who's the weakest? Crab. But in terms of our two sapient crabs, they actually haven't been alive that long. We have Bach and Kakb. And they're both female though, so at least for now there's no chance of any more sapient population growing, but you know, let's be real, God knows what could happen here. This Age of Ice kind of seems to be counterintuitive by destroying the trees, so I'm actually going to replace that with another Age of Chaos to hopefully get us some more earthquakes. So we're going to reset the calendar here with our quick ages, crank up the time to 40, and let's see what happens when we check back in at year 500. And here we are at year 500. And the world really hasn't changed that much, but I do want you to remember what video you're watching here, so be grateful that anything has happened at all. And the main thing I think we all can see up here is that another earthquake has struck this area, resulting in actual soil. Oh, and even a couple more sapient crabs. Great. And a rock too. Awesome. As you can see, I'm really grasping at straws for content here, but one thing I have noticed is some of the earthquakes are starting to attack our little mountain wall here, as one clearly struck it earlier and made it go down a bit. But just unfortunately, just because of how deep the ocean is, the only way for actual land to pop up is for earthquakes to strike the same area twice, which is actually very possible, and I expect it to happen again before year 1000. But you know, that makes me think, how did this island pop up? This was the very first thing to pop up right here. And from what I could tell, there was just one earthquake here, yet it came up all the way to the sand level, which I have never seen before, but once again, all the trees are still dead. Fantastic. What a lovely looking image right here. But we're gonna take one more look at interesting people again just before we move on, and the oldest is still Crab. He's still doing great. I love Crab. Man, he's been doing nothing for the past 479 years, and he is still the happiest. I mean, just look at his life here. Singing, taking naps, relieving himself. Oh, he's also the fullest too. Wait, how's he the fullest? First off, hunger is disabled completely, but food consumed 65. Favorite food question mark. What have you been eating, Mr. Crab? All the plants are dead, meaning there's only one other option. I'm watching you. But anyway, we are now going to sim to year 750, 3/4 of the way there. And I have made the world calendar include another age of chaos. And I will see you guys then. And now year 750, and once again, not a lot has changed. A little bit more land has popped up right here, and a little tail has developed around over here. And we can clearly see that a ton of earthquakes popped up over the period, but none of them just happened at the same spot. But let's check out these islands. Oh great, more dead trees and more crabs. Actually, there is some forest soil right here. That's pretty interesting. However, I don't think they'll ever be able to do anything with that ever. And oh god, the rocks have multiplied up here. You know the video is boring when one of your main talking points is how many rocks are on the island over here. If you're still watching at this point, why? Just why? So, I mean, you get the idea. Let's look at interesting people. Crab's still the oldest, but he's no longer the happiest. What the hell happened to him? Oh, he had a bad dream. What did he dream about? He was an elf and vegetables were meat. I have no clue what that's supposed to mean. I'm not even going to try to understand it. But anyway, we have a really exciting 250 years left. I'm being sarcastic. But just to make sure there's ultimate earthquake, ultimate chaos, ultimate natural disasters, whatever, we are going to make this entire clock the age of chaos, which hopefully means we will have a ton of earthquakes pop up here and hopefully actually make enough land for maybe a kingdom to develop. But who knows? And I'll see you guys at year 1000. And there it is, 1000 years later, and look at our world. I'm noticing a huge cluster of stuff right here, including some greenery. Is that? Holy crap, and a campfire. Wait, hold up. Wait, kingdom. Holy crap, there's a kingdom. What? My only thing about that is I just didn't think there was enough room, but maybe they had barely enough. Yeah, they did for a campfire right here. Not really a lot else though, but they also have grass too. I really gotta understand how that grass is possible. Is it religion maybe? They do have a religion with a couple of members. Only been around 55 years, and let's see what some of the powers they have are. Create grass. Wow, that actually explains a lot about these videos, but how did the crabs get it? They're not supposed to have that one. I guess any creature can have any of these. It's just rare if they don't. The kingdom of Krobo has been made, and recently this man said, "We are happy. Life is good. we need shelter. And he's not lying. Every single person here is homeless. And their motto is, spear is the way. And as we know in some of my past following videos, I put some of these quotes in my channel bio. But you know, how about I let you guys decide? Since this motto isn't really that interesting, how about if this video gets 15,000 likes again, the top comment from this video will be my channel banner. This thing right here until the year ends or something. Or if I like it, maybe forever. I don't know. I just got to think of stuff to do. But that's about all. But hold up. Let's just take a step back here to understand that we started with this. No land, not even water, and when the water did show up, it was the deepest level surrounded by the hardest layer of mountain, and it turned into this. Worldbox may actually just be one of the best games of all time. No bias though, no bias. But that is what happens when you follow absolutely nothing, not a thing, for 1,000 years. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. But with that said, that's about all for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.